We have 3 kinds of mushrooms growing here: oyster, lion's mane, and chestnut. There's a vegan guy named Jake who has a company called Fungi Farms. He grows mushrooms, and these are the spent logs that he grows them on. Their productivity has declined too much for a mushroom farm, and then he gives them to us, and then they grow back some mushrooms. We have an abundance of mushrooms just popping up all over our garden. So I went down today and I harvested a whole bunch of oyster mushrooms, and I made for you a delicious, succulent oyster mushroom steak covered in this luscious red wine glaze. It's so delicious, so easy to make. Cooks in the oven, then you just pan fry it, and you've got a fancy dinner, not just for you, but for your guests as well. Perfect for the holidays. So I'm cleaning these as well as I can. You won't have to do this if you buy them at the store, but because these are grown in the wild outdoors, as you saw, sometimes there's, little things in them. So I just want to make sure they're completely clean, nothing's hiding in the gills, and then I'm just kind of patting them dry. Now what you want are to find the largest clumps of oyster mushrooms that you can, so you can have these sort of big, meaty oyster mushroom steaks. So try to get nice big clumps like these. Okay, we're gonna start out by making a mirepoix of carrots, celery, and onion. I've got my estate olive oil from our trees. It's gonna go into this pan here. Let that heat up for a second. And then add our mirepoix. A little bit of salt. You don't have to cook them thoroughly. You just want to sort of soften them, sweeten them a little bit because they're going to finish cooking in the ovens. Maybe 5 minutes or so. These steaks are going to cook right in this cast iron pan. If you don't have a cast iron pan, you can transfer this to a baking dish and finish baking the oyster mushrooms in that. But this is just so easy. Like, why bother transferring it when I can bake it right in here? Now what I'm going to do is add some garlic. This is garlic from the garden. I'm just going to crush them, whoops, there it goes, and just throw the cloves in here whole. I don't need to chop them or anything. They are just going to cook right in the sauce, and the sauce will sort of deglaze as the mushrooms shrink down. You don't need to press them, you don't need to do anything. You just need to get the mushrooms in the oven. That's it. All right, I'm gonna add a good dose of red wine, maybe about a cup. I'm going to add some soy sauce, a few tablespoons, and I have some Japanese meaty, which is sweet sake, and that's going to help sort of create this lovely glaze. And a couple of tablespoons of miso. It's just white miso. All right, now I'm going to start putting my mushrooms in there, which I believe I've cleaned as well as I can. Just let that all sort of soak. These are going to shrink. They're going to release some juices as well. And at the same time, the marinade will cook down, being absorbed by the mushrooms, creating such juicy, succulent mushrooms. You can use white oyster mushrooms. You can use blue oyster mushrooms, brown oyster mushrooms, whatever you can get your hands on. Alrighty, now I'm going to get these in the oven. And we're going to forget about it for, 30, 40 minutes. I just pulled these steaks out of the oven, and oh my God, they look and smell absolutely delicious. They have absorbed all that marinade. There's some lovely mirepoix going on here. And now I'm gonna just cook them in the pan. All right, we're gonna cook these up until they're beautifully browned. Okay, while these are cooking up, I'm gonna take the rest of this mirepoix and I'm just gonna make a little bit more sauce to put on top of it. I'm gonna throw in some fresh rosemary. I didn't want the rosemary to overpower the mushrooms. Adding some more red wine. And if you don't drink wine, you can substitute vegetable stock. Adding some more meaty. Adding some more soy sauce. And then you can add a little bit of a bouillon cube, the brilliant bouillon. I've done a video on it. I am out of it right now, so I'm just adding a little bit of a mushroom broth just for a little bit more flavor. And we're gonna cook this down for a minute, and that is gonna be the topping for my steak. That is good. That is gonna be a lovely sauce. So that only has to cook for a minute, just for the rosemary to release its aroma. Let's see how these are browning. Oh my gosh, look at that. And you just want to cook these guys until they're just beautifully browned. They're already flavored. They're so juicy. They're so succulent on the inside because they absorbed all of that wonderful marinade that they were baked in. Like, oh my God, the smells are incredible. The mirepoix, the garlic, the red wine, the mushrooms themselves. And I need to now cut into this thing and see whether or not it passes the taste test. Oh my God. That is so rich and complex in flavor and savory and succulent and delicious. Oh my God. I'm definitely serving this to my friends and family for the holidays, and I hope you do too. Thanks again for tuning in to the Vegan Good Life with Miyoko, and I hope you enjoyed today's episode and the walk through our mushroom garden. I hope you can harvest some mushrooms, but play it safe. Make sure you know what you're harvesting. See you again next time. You got to try this.